Hey everyone, welcome back to Car Flash at the garage, where badge hype gets tossed in the glove box, spec sheet worship gets left at the dealership door, and what we're left with is raw, seat of the pants, real-world driving truth. If you're new here, buckle up, because here, it's all about what a car actually feels like, not just what it looks like on paper. Today, we're diving deep into a nameplate that practically invented the luxury crossover category at the 2026 Lexus RX 350. But don't get it twisted, this isn't the same polite, plush cruiser your uncle used to lease. This RX has evolved, and Lexus clearly wants it to feel sharper, smarter, and way more confident. So, let's jump in. Exterior right off the bat. The RX 350 makes a strong visual statement. Lexus didn't just polish up the old design, they reshaped the whole mood. The front fascia ditches the overly fussy spindle grille of past generations in favor of a more refined, integrated hourglass shape. It's still bold, sure, but it's more sculpted, more premium. The LED headlights are slimmer, with the new L-shaped daytime running light signature that feels precise and unmistakably modern. There's more attention to aerodynamics too, with functional air curtains at the corners that not only add a sense of motion even when parked but actually help reduce turbulence around the wheels. It's the kind of detail you don't notice right away, but you feel it on the road. Swing around to the side and you'll see where the RX's proportions have matured. This isn't some tall hatchback pretending to be an SUV. The stance is lower, more grounded, with a longer wheelbase and cleaner body lines that stretch from the fenders all the way to the rear. Lexus has done away with unnecessary creases, instead, everything feels tightly wrapped and intentional. The wheel arches are subtly flared, housing 19-inch wheels standard, but you can spec up to 21-inch alloys with a diamond cut finish that genuinely elevate the whole look. The chrome strip that used to run below the windows, gone. In its place is a blacked out beltline that gives it a more athletic silhouette. It's still elegant, no doubt, but now there's a sense of confidence, like it finally believes it belongs in the same sentence as an X5 or GLE. Move to the rear and Lexus has done something very 2026. They've given the RX that full-width light bar treatment. But unlike some brands that just slap a strip of red plastic across the tailgate, this one is actually functional and beautifully integrated. The Lexus lettering is spaced out across the center in a satin chrome finish, replacing the traditional badge, and the taillights themselves have a floating 3D effect when lit up at night. There's a sharp character line that kicks up from the rear wheel and carries through to the spoiler, giving the tailgate some real sculptural presence. No fake exhaust tips here either. Lexus has wisely hidden the tailpipes underneath, which only adds to the minimalist, refined look. It's clean, it's fresh, and it's one of the best-looking mid-size luxury SUVs out right now. Interior. Step inside, and the RX 350's transformation continues. Lexus calls it Tazuna, a Japanese word meaning rain, and the whole concept is built around intuitive driver control. What that translates to is a cabin that feels like it's wrapped around you. The massive 14-inch touchscreen dominates the center stack, and unlike older Lexus systems, this one's snappy, easy to navigate, and finally supports wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. There are still some physical buttons for climate and media controls, thank the car gods, but most functions have moved to the screen. The new digital gauge cluster is crisp and reconfigurable, and the optional heads-up display beams key info directly onto the windshield with zero lag. Material quality, top shelf. Even in the Bass Premium trim, you're getting soft touch surfaces, contrast stitching, ambient lighting, and laser-cut wood or aluminum inlays depending on spec. The seats, whether you go with new looks or real leather, are shaped for long-distance comfort with just enough bolstering to hold you in through twisty bits. Rear passengers won't complain either. There's noticeably more legroom thanks to the stretched wheelbase, and the reclining second row adds a touch of executive luxury. Cargo space is solid for the class, and a power liftgate with kick sensor is now standard across most trims. But let's talk about how it drives. Performance under the hood of the RX 350 is a familiar yet improved 2.4-liter turbocharged inline-4, replacing the old V6. It produces 275 horsepower and 317 pound-feet of torque, mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now, before you groan about losing 2 cylinders, let me say this, the Turbo 4 is no slouch. It pulls hard off the line, with the broad torque band that makes city driving and highway merging equally effortless. The 8-speed shifts cleanly, and in sport mode, it holds gears just long enough to make things fun. You won't mistake this for a performance SUV, but it's far from dull. Lexus has tightened up the steering feel too. It's still on the relaxed side, but now there's actual feedback, especially in corners. The ride is classic Lexus, smooth, composed, and whisper quiet even on rougher pavement. If you opt for the F-Sport handling package, you get adaptive dampers and a sportier tuning that firms things up without turning the RX into something harsh. It's a great middle ground, especially for buyers who want more control without sacrificing luxury. Fuel economy, you're looking at around 24 miles per gallon city and 29 highway, which is respectable for something this size with this level of refinement. Now, about pricing, the 2026 Lexus RX 350 starts at around $50,000 for the base premium trim and climbs up to about $64,000 fully loaded with the luxury or F-Sport trims. Considering what you're getting in terms of design, tech, and quality, it's solid value in the luxury SUV space. You can get more horsepower elsewhere, sure, but the RX wins big on long-term reliability, resale value, and that battery-smooth Lexus ownership experience. Plus, Lexus throws in a healthy dose of standard safety tech: adaptive cruise, lane keep, blind spot monitoring, and a new enhanced proactive driving assist system that anticipates slow traffic or sharp turns and subtly adjusts throttle and braking. So, what's the verdict? The 2026 Lexus RX 350 isn't trying to be the loudest, fastest, or flashiest SUV on the block, and that's exactly why it works. It's evolved where it needed to. It's sharper to look at, smarter to live with, and more satisfying to drive than ever before. It's not a revolution, but a calculated, thoughtful evolution that finally brings the RX into the modern era without losing its soul. If you've dismissed it before as a soft suburban cruiser, it might be time to take a second look. That's it for today's ride on Car Flash. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Whether it's a V8, a hybrid, or a Turbo 4, we drive it all, but only the real ones get the flash treatment. Until next time, keep your eyes on the road and your heart in the drive.